I feel like everyone can agree when I say that the season of winter 2021 was full of absolute bangers. There were so many shows to choose from. If I was gonna be honest, I'd say a little bit too many shows. There was a show for everyone last season. Shows like Mushoku Tensei, Skate the Infinity, Attack on Titan Season 4. There were anime like Wonder Egg Priority that with every magnificent episode will absolutely be the highlight of my week. Only for anime like The Promised Neverland Season 2 to absolutely ruin it. There were also anime like XR. There are many words I can use to describe X-Arm last season. Of course, one of those words is masterpiece. Now, as we moved on to the spring season, not gonna lie, we did get lots of great shows that I believe shouldn't go unnoticed, but the amount of stacked piles that the previous season had to carry all the way through doesn't necessarily compare to the amount of anime we have now. But even with all the plethora of shows to choose from this current season, there's one show that I personally feel stands out from the rest, while also attempting to bring more light into this anime with how underrated it is. And that show is this one, Nagatoro-san. What, guys? I think this show is pretty good. It's actually kind of wholesome at times. Like, it's pretty good this season. What? Okay, I was kidding. It's just a joke. It's just a joke, man. It's just a joke. Alright, it's just a joke. I said it was a joke. God damn! The story of Vivy Fluorite Eyes Song begins with what seems to be a kind of the end of the world type setting. A war between humans and the AI, to be more specific. AI technology has taken over the human race 100 years into the future in a plot to eradicate any sign of mankind left on this planet. On the human side of things, aka the losing side, a desperate scientist with only 1 inch of hope left barely manages to escape the clutches and grasp of these killer mech robot machines, and releases a self-governed AI by the name of Diva, or Vivy, 100 years back into the past in order to fix everything and change the future in order to prevent the dooming fate waiting for them in the near future. A lot of people I've seen who have viewed this show throughout the internet usually make a comparison on how Vivy is like, imagine Hatsune Miku but like Terminator edition. Though I can't ultimately just deny this statement because at some points that very statement is actually kind of true. The concept of Vivy is similar to Terminator in a sense, except there's no Arnold Schwarzenegger and instead is replaced with a blue-haired badass AI attack machine, which to be honest is one of the main reasons I really enjoy this show. Vivy as a character is really good, like really good. She's like a blue-haired Makoto Kusanagi from Ghost in the Shell, which is freaking awesome. In this world, every AI has a certain mission that they have to follow based on their program, whether it's towards nursing and caring for human beings or simply protecting them from any harm or danger. Vivy's mission is to make everyone happy by singing. She's an idol AI, and under her original stage name, Diva, she strives to put a smile on people's face by showcasing her nice voice, even though at times people don't show up. Bummer. Though when she learns about the war that is set to happen in the coming future 100 years later, she is forced to go on a series of missions in order to prevent it from happening with the help of this little fella over here, Matsumoto. A character who has knowledge of the future and is accompanied with Vivy throughout all of her missions in various different forms. Sometimes he's a stuffed teddy bear, other times he's a freaking Minecraft block, bruh. Vivy Fluorite Eyes Song is mainly directed by Shinpei Azaki, who has experience from being involved in the creation of works like Attack on Titan, Guilty Crown, Kimi no Todoke, Erased, Blue Exorcist, and many more. But the one who is the main highlight behind the production of the series is this guy, Tappei Nagatsuki. Sound familiar? Well, yeah, it better sound familiar because this is the same guy who created ReZero. And it honestly makes sense now that I think about it, as I witnessed the effect of writing that went into this show. Like seriously, never in my days will I have ever thought that I would say the death of some AI in this show can make me feel emotional in some way, but this anime showcases a lot of things. It has amazing fight choreography, gorgeous art, fluid animation, AI occasionally making silly robot jokes as an insult, a compelling story, a godlike soundtrack, some crazy shock moments, romantic relationship between AI and humans? Minor and out of context spoilers, by the way.
僕はあなたを生涯守ります。
私もあなたを生涯守ります。
Y'all think Android 18's pussy be vibrating and
The
shit?
point I'm trying to get at is that this show covers a lot in just the mere 13 episodes that it's given, and it's quite a shame that it's on the bottom tier of the most talked about anime this season due to the preconceived notion of people mistaking the show for an idol anime, therefore literally nobody watching it. But I don't blame people who initially thought this, because I too was guilty of attempting to distinguish Vivy as your typical old idol series. So when I began to watch the show, I saw a blue-haired girl in the first 10 seconds of the show singing and saying stuff like, "My mission is to make everyone happy by singing." And I was just there with my bucket of old popcorn with me and thinking to myself, oh, this is actually pretty nice, not gonna lie. And then a few more seconds later, as I kept watching, this scene came up and I was like, whoa, wait, this isn't Love Life School Idol project. I think it's safe to say that Vivy Fluorite Eyes Song is one of the most underappreciated anime to air this season, and to just get a few more of you guys to take a peek at this series, and that would be pretty dope if I do say so myself. I can't stress enough to state how beautiful the art can be in this anime at multiple points in the show. At times, to up the dramatic feel and intensity of the characters in this show, they would zoom in their face, showing the amount of detail they went as far to add to these characters. It's like Wit Studio was out here like, yeah, I know this story is top tier, but first let me show off and make y'all witness my amazing skill and craft at detailing these characters' eyes. And you can truly see how this reflects Wit's past works, as they use the same detailing in eyes displayed in shows like Attack on Titan also. And speaking of direction, can we all take a minute to appreciate the musical direction that was presented in this anime? I wish I was able to show you guys, but sadly through the uploading this video, copyright decided to go, hold up, wait a minute. Something ain't right. In absolutely attempt to obliterate my channel and make my experience a living nightmare. As a show that mainly revolves around the concept of music and many of its characters, you may argue that I should be expecting good music to come out of this series, which is true actually. And luckily, my expectations were met towards the score in this show, and I absolutely enjoy all the OSTs and even the opening to come out of this anime. Plus, this probably isn't very important, but all the music I've been using throughout the whole video as background noise comes from the OSTs in Vivy Fluorite Eyes Song, so there's that. But of course, do remember that this show isn't perfect in any means, nor this video isn't meant to criticize or bring down any of the other anime airing this season. For instance, stuff like To Your Eternity and Tokyo Revengers, which are shows I'm equally very invested into as well. But I wanted to give light to Vivy because though there seems to be more eyeballs watching this show as compared to when I started writing the scripts, this anime is still very heavily underappreciated compared to the previous series aforementioned. Plus, I couldn't really think of a good title to make for those videos, so I might as well just throw the script in the garbage anyways. There are obviously a few problems I have with this series, but my enjoyment factor the whole way through heavily outweighs the minor flaws towards this anime. One major factor of intrigue and enjoyment that I get is the idea of how Vivy is not able to alter the future in dramatic ways. She's only able to change some minor things that in turn lead to a prevention in the war between the AI and the humans. The unfortunate thing about all this is that at times Vivy isn't able to save people that she truly cares for, leading to their deaths, which she isn't able to change or alter all by herself. This leads to another concept that the show tackles, which is the emotional impact between humans and the AI. AI, or artificial intelligence, in any genre or medium, are usually unable to feel or have a sense of what general human emotions feel like. As seen in this show, some AI just follow commands without a thought about whether it's beneficial to their own well-being or not. And with each episode that airs every week, Vivy Fluorite Eyes Song displays the struggle of these AI, as many of them try to understand how to grasp and understand the concept of actually having real emotions. And I found myself reminiscing and comparing this concept to other anime like Violet Evergarden too. Besides Terminator, I found myself comparing Vivy Fluorite Eyes Song to other sci-fi works like I, Robot, Detroit Become Human, Blade Runner, The Matrix, maybe pepper in some Wall-E in there too. And if any of those works float your boat, then I recommend checking out this show. Yeah, I hope I didn't hype up this anime too hard, because that would actually be really bad. Overall, Vivy lately has been a show similar to when your dad leaves to go get a pack of cigarettes and doesn't come back for 7 years, just to return instead of having a pack of cigarettes in his hand, he has a carton of milk. I'm not very good at analogies, aren't I? Basically what I'm saying is that this show is quite the surprise package, and honestly, as expected from Tappei Nagatsuki and his ingenious writing skills, this show doesn't hold back, and you shouldn't either. So yeah, go watch the show. It's one of my favorites this season, and I guarantee you won't be disappointed. Wait, why the hell are you still here? I said go watch it already.